What's up everyone, thanks for joining us at Mather PE. I've got a Fox 40 electronic whistle here with me today. I've been waiting to get one of these for a while now. I finally pulled the trigger on it. Let's take a look at it and let you know what I think.
Alright, so here's the packaging. It's a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be for a handheld device, but let's cut into it and see what is here. One thing I do like is that it's got a battery that comes with it. You don't have to buy it separately. Alright, so we have the lanyard, battery, and the actual whistle. Let's put it together and see what happens. So the lanyard, you just slide through here. And then slide that right through. And we should be able to get that nice and connected. So that's not too bad. A wrist strap for you. And then the battery. It's a little bit more stubborn. There we go. So it's a 9-volt battery. Just match up the clamps and we'll slap that in here and see how we do. Alright, so that's it. Pretty easy to put together, not all that complicated. Let's go see what it sounds like in the gym.
Alright, so we've played with this a little bit in the gym here. I got this at Canadian Tire for $24.99. You can see it at online retailers for about the same price point, give or take a few dollars, so they are out there. And after playing with it a little bit, I can't believe I haven't had one of these before. I see all kinds of uses for it in my gym and out on the field, so let me talk about it for a bit. So let's talk about some of the pros of this whistle. So we're in a double gym here, and sometimes we have 2 classes running at the same time in a shared space, and we need something loud enough to be able to cut through the noise of an active gym. This at 100 decibels will definitely do that, so I've really liked the possibilities of that. Sometimes we also have a curtain down that separates our 2 classes, so we have 2 classes running independently but in the gym at the same time. And sometimes there's some whistle confusion. If you're both using a whistle and they sound the same, sometimes one person will blow a whistle on one side of the gym and the game will stop on the other side because they thought they heard a whistle. One of the things I like about this is it's got 3 different tones that you can use to differentiate between your spaces perhaps. Let me show you the different tones that we have. So number 1 is a lot like a fire drill sound. It's very electronic sounding. Alright, number 2 is more like a bird trill. And the third one, which is kind of my favorite, the one that I will tend to default to, is the traditional sounding whistle. And that's plenty loud right beside myself. One thing I do like about this is I can aim it away from me so that it's not blowing straight back at me or up at me really loud and hurting me. For those of you who have had to teach and coach wearing a mask this year, and if you're someone who's used to using a whistle, this definitely complicates things because by the time you get your mask down to then blow a whistle, sometimes there's a bit of a delay, and that's not ideal. So this definitely solves that problem because it's handheld and you don't need that whistle in your mouth. I mean, one of the reasons we wear that mask is to prevent our water droplets or droplets from leaving our mouth and going out into the air. And you can imagine the difference if you're blowing a whistle, how forcefully you're sending out air droplets out there. So again, from a sanitary and health protocol idea, this will definitely make a difference with that. And I was thinking about my whistle and how often I wash my own whistle, and usually I just sort of hang it up in my office and grab it the next day, and I'll probably give it a rinse or a wash off every once in a while, but that's probably not the most sanitary thing to do. So this, again, from a sanitary standpoint, makes tons of sense. One of the things I like to do with some of my classes is put them in charge of reffing and controlling the game. And many of the students are reluctant to use a whistle that's been shared by someone else, even if it's been sanitized in between. They have reluctance. I think that this electronic whistle is going to get people a lot more comfortable at being able to say, hey, yeah, I will referee, and I am comfortable doing that when they get to use a handheld one instead of sharing a whistle with someone else who's already used it. I also like it for general reffing because I don't have to walk around or run around with a whistle in my mouth. And if you're reffing a game, you know that players often want calls to be made immediately. And if you have to pull the whistle up, sometimes there's a delay. Having this in your hand makes it real sharp and real quick. Another thing I like the idea of from a coaching standpoint is being able to use a whistle and be able to give audio feedback in quick succession. Rather than have to take a whistle, blow, put it down, and then talk, I can do them much more in quick succession as opposed to having a bit of a delay between things. I was thinking about for the outdoor hiker, this would be an excellent tool to have if you were ever in distress, to be able to use this as opposed to blowing on a whistle. This definitely will cut through the air just as well as a regular whistle. I suppose the two cons that I found for this is one, that it's a little bit bigger than I thought for a handheld device, which is in reality not a big deal. The other one that is that there's no volume dial to increase or decrease the volume level. It's a one sound fits all kind of shot, which again is not that big a deal. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I can't believe I haven't had one of these before. I see all kinds of uses for it, and I can see how I'll use it in my gym and out on the field. So the Fox 40 electronic whistle gets a thumbs up from me. If you like the videos that we put up on this channel, please give us a like or a share or a subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thanks again for joining us. We'll catch you next time.